Welcome to Session 3 of the Weber Cup, where it's America who have the clear advantage heading into the final day. In its 19th edition, this is an event with a prestigious history.
This crowd has been treated to a real power play. Kyle Troop signs off with another strike and a message. So close to perfection as it is, 289, good enough to keep Europe right back in business here. Oh, he really is on fire now. A 268. For Marshall Kent, point number 8 for Team USA. Well, that renders all the mathematics completely irrelevant. There's the answer, there's the point, there's the lead. And look at that, 279. Now that is a Weber Cup high this year. Is it a strike? Yes, it is! It's a point for Europe, and Stu Williams has come through big time. It's celebration time now for Team Europe.
The pattern is clear to see. Periods of American domination followed by the Europeans. The US ruled for the first 3 years. Europe came back in 2003. Team USA next. Things tightened up from 2009 before 5 years of European domination began in 2013. Can America break the streak in 2018? Let's have a look back at the tournament so far.
Team USA always seem to do better than Team Europe in Baker matches. But an open frame has more or less gifted this first Baker match to Team Europe. Oh, Barrett's got that ball working, that wraps it up. Troop doesn't look like he's going to make any mistakes at the moment. He is absolutely dialed on. Well, we're having our first nail biter pretty early here, aren't we? Oh my goodness, he's got it. But with a huge slice of luck.
USA won and Europe won.
Looking for a magnificent 7. Well, what can you do about this?
Just crazy scores.
It really is. Oh, it's gone, it's gone. It thought about it, it was slow motion and it went. And that could be the pin that secures the win. It was close to perfection from Anthony Simonson.
He hasn't quite worked the lane out just yet.
Oh, what he can't do is that. No, that's a mental mistake. And there we go. That's over right there, and a look of absolute horror on the face of Martin Larsson. And it's been an easy night for Chris Barnes, who has helped steer the United States to 3 straight victories in singles competition. This is starting to unravel for Team Europe at the moment. Would you believe this?
Stu can't buy a strike. Well, it's 9 frames in a row without a strike. And there's the spare, the 2 and the 10 from Jones, just showing off. It's much too much for Stu Williams.
And America continue to just roll along here. They have complete control of the scoreboard. Right now, the score looking very healthy for a team that hasn't won this competition in 5 years. And it is 5 in a row. Look at that. That is almost defying the laws of physics, that. now, change again.
And he just hates that.
What a huge morale booster this could be for Team Europe. Oh, he's done enough to win the point for Team Europe. And he's nailed it. He's done it. What a match. They started with a win, Team Europe. They finished with a win.
An outstanding opening session from the Americans saw them win 5 of the 7 matches to carry a 3-point lead into day 2.
Pressure's on, no question about that. And at least he started off here with a perfect 10, and we'll be looking for a lot more of those, as will Team Europe. Just what can he add to it? Is it going to be a 269 to finish? Yes, it is. Normal service resumed then for Team USA there. And the Americans straight back down to business. The Troop Simonson partnership will look to go to work and carry on this red-hot American streak. It's not must-win time for Europe, but they can't allow this gap to grow any bigger, can they?
Go, baby. We're here to play this year. We're here to play. Let's go.
It's another one to forget, Team Europe. American dominance continues in the early going. And right now, the Americans are looking unstoppable.
And that will do nicely, thank you.
Well, he's in danger of making his 278 yesterday look like a low score. Not a crisis yet, but getting close to it. And this gap is growing alarmingly wide. A strike here from Williams puts Europe in good shape. And he's got the messenger to kick out that 10. Oh, you don't want to be doing that against Stu Williams. You might end up in the car park.
I can tell you if he strikes here, he'll light up this arena.
He's got it. He's done it. Is that a turning point in this year's Weber Cup? Oh, that was a thriller.
Big ball, big frame. All or nothing.
Must take all 10 just to keep this alive. And he's left the corner 10. Well, 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 what a big win that is. And I tell you, Europe are clinging on by their fingernails here.
Europe are building up some momentum.
Well, Svensson's back on track. Here we are, dead level again. Huge pressure on the European skipper here. And that was a shocker. And I think that's the match gone. Wave the white flag, get me out of here. Barrett has got some serious thinking to do. I mean, it takes something special to stand out head and shoulders above everybody else in a field as talented as this. And Anthony Simonson is doing that. This man is simply unstoppable right now. Back in business, back in cruise control.
More joy for Team USA in Session 2, another 5-2 win, stretching their overall lead to 6 points heading into the evening's play.
Troop. We're overdue a strike, and it can't last for Kyle Troop.
Must be a strike.
He's due a strike, but he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
It's a point for Team USA.
Oh, can you believe this? 3 in a row. Barnes looking to just shut the door, lock it, and throw away the key. Dear, oh dear.
Simonsen 2 strikes in a row.
The Americans 3 for 3 tonight and leading this 13-4.
That's what they really needed.
Well, that's a stinker of a start for TJ.
And that's as good as you can throw a bowling ball.
Svensson signs off with a big 267. Opens up nicely. That's the one you said that he had to keep an eye on, and he's missed it. No, Barrett will do it. Big point. Huge pressure. Great reaction. Oh, this is brilliant. It's absolutely sensational, this from Barrett. 3 in a row. Finishes off beautifully. 9 strikes out of 10.
A fantastic performance from Dom Barrett, with the highest score so far at this year's event, may have stemmed the US tide, but with 14 points on the board, America are now just 5 wins away from lifting the trophy they last held back in 2012. Before we join the action, a brief reminder on the rules of Tenpin. Tony Wrighton now explains.
The lane is 42 inches wide and 60 foot long to the headpin, bordered by 2 gutters. The lane is applied with an oiling pattern, which reduces friction between the ball and the lane. Lane patterns can vary and can aid the bowler at times. The lane approach is 15 to 17 feet. There's a foul line between the approach and the lane. If a player touches or slides over this line after they've delivered the ball, it's called as a foul and no pins are scored. A full game is made up of 10 frames with up to 2 balls each frame. Knocking all 10 pins down with the first bowl is called a strike. Scoring 3 consecutive strikes is called a turkey. If a bowler doesn't score a strike, a second ball is thrown to clear other standing pins. If successful, this is called a spare. Failing to clear all pins with 2 balls is called an open frame. Sometimes pins are left standing at opposite ends of the pin deck. This is called a split and often results in an open frame. If scores are tied after 10 frames in this tournament, players will bowl off a 2-frame roll-off with the game scores scratched. The bowler's ultimate goal is a perfect 300 game, which is the maximum 10 strikes in a row. The Weber Cup has seen 6 perfect games in total, the last 2 being by Team USA in 2013.
Matches run for 10 frames, with a strike worth 30 points and the maximum score being 300. A spare is 10 points plus the pinfall of the first shot in the frame, and an actual pinfall after 2 shots in an open frame. Ahead of the captain's pick, Tony Wrighton spoke to both skippers to discover who they'd selected to bowl.
Chris, who have you decided to select on your captain's pick?
Well, despite what Guy Kaminsky says, we're going to go with Anthony Simonson. Yeah.
A round of applause from the fans because they've been so impressed with the debutant's performance.
He's bowled fantastic. He's probably the hottest player in the world. He just won in Singapore a week ago. You know, there's no reason to pick against the hot hand. He's young, he's fearless, and he's right on top of his game.
And he's been superb for you this weekend, hasn't he? He's just almost a sure bet. When you put him on the lane, he gets a point for you.
Well, nobody's a sure bet against Dom, and Dom just came off a fantastic performance, so he might even be a little bit of an underdog coming into this game.
Well, you say Dom, but there's been plenty of speculation over whether he'll pick himself or whether he'll pick Jesper Svensson or someone else. Who would the crowd like Team Europe to pick, I wonder? I think they'd like you to pick yourself. Who are you going to go for, Dom?
Well, it was between Jesper and I, and before we started this session, it was going to be Jesper as long as he felt comfortable, and he did in his match, but I've got to try and follow that up with another good game.
A very popular decision. Just to remind everyone watching, you've just had a fantastic game and a fantastic win. In fact, almost a perfect 300 match. So you feel that you want to get out there and do that again?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've just come off on the lane. It's just been all before that match, so I've got a really good sort of blueprint of what's happening. So it makes sense for me to go out there and try and, you know, keep up with the oil pattern, keep up with the transition that Anthony and I create, and hopefully... I'm fed up of saying hopefully. It's about time we just start winning. That's what we're going to do. And that's why we're here. So we're going to start winning.
He's up for it, no doubt about it. Team Europe's captain putting himself up in the final match of the evening. It's the captain's pick.
Welcome back to the Weber Cup. It's the final match of the third session, the captain's pick. And Dom Barrett has selected himself, whilst US skipper Chris Barnes has put forward Anthony Simonson.
Guy Kaminsky has been banished from the arena. First of all, he said there's no way Chris Barnes is going to pick Anthony Simonson. Wrong. He also said that if it was him, he wouldn't pick Dom Barrett, that he would keep it with Jesper Svensson. Dom's overruled him on that one. So Guy 0 for 2, but what's your thoughts? Have the captains made the right choices? Was there an argument for any other candidates?
Not in my book, Nick. No, this is going to be match of the day. It is the last game of the session. Dom's just come off of a 288, which is really a fantastic game, and Anthony Simonson's dropped his average down to about 250 for the day. So, yeah, it's going to be really good.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does here, this young man who's been so dazzling thus far. But he bowled a, by his standards, very pedestrian 228 on this lane. Admittedly, it was the third match up on that oil. Here it's the second match, but Simonson, by his own ridiculous standards, looked human and beatable last time up. So suddenly we would have been looking at Simonson and saying, well, this is an absolute banker, a guaranteed USA win. But the way Barrett played on this lane, it's probably now too close to call. Do you have a favourite?
Well, yeah, let's put my neck on the line. I'll go for Barrett again against the hottest player in the world at this particular time, as his captains called him, and results around the world in recent tournaments have actually proved that. He is so hot. But Dom, a former world champion on the PBA Tour, he was locked and loaded for a game, and there's no reason why he can't carry on. Obviously depends on how much the oil is going to move around now. Well, with these TV lights burning on the lane, and players using these reactive bowling balls that just lick the oil off the lane.
Well, Jesper Svensson would have been expecting to get the call. And I'm sure, like any good team player, he would have acknowledged that, yeah, Barrett came off such a strong game. And I'm sure he's backing his captain's call there. In fact, he did applaud it when Barrett announced himself. Certainly didn't look like he was grumpy or miserable or pulling a face or anything like that. And,
well, I also think that if Dom hadn't selected himself, there could well have been a riot in the audience. They're so pro-European tonight, absolutely rowdy as can be.
The key, though, for Europe is they have to start stringing a bunch of wins together. You look at the scoreboard, although Europe have come in with 2 big wins out of the last 3 matches, they are still a mile behind. They've lost this session as well. They were 5-2 down in the first 2 sessions. Whatever happens here, the best they can do is a 4-3 defeat. So it's at the best a mini recovery, and if Simonson just comes up with his A game here, he could leave America just 3 points away as we wrap up Saturday's play. So just one more practice ball, we believe, and then this one will be officially up and running. Be interesting to see what we get from Simonson here, because by his own standards, he wasn't particularly inspiring in that last match on this lane, on this pattern.
It's going to be interesting to see where Simonson starts his approach from. He's way left on the approach and drops that ball on sort of 6th or sometimes 7th arrow and plays a real coast-to-coast shot. So it's going to be interesting where he starts with his feet and where his ball first touches the lane.
2 big questions. Can Barrett continue where he left off? Can Simonson improve on his last showing on this lane pattern? We are about to find out.
Well, that's how far left Simonson is. Look, he's almost in front of the ball return with his feet. That's just crazy. And so is that. Well, what a great shot to start with.
Well, that's a terrific start. That really is. Dropped it straight into the pocket. It was never in doubt.
Certainly was a good-looking shot. covering more of the lane than any other player in either side.
Well, I'll tell you what, that little gap has not taken him offline, has it? It's another perfect pocket hit from Barrett. We could be looking at two very high scores here.
Couple of maximums, maybe. Who's going to be the first to blink?
Well, the trick is in this sort of competition, as all the bowlers know, you don't worry about the other guy, you just focus 100% on what you're doing. Now, was he perfectly balanced there? Well, he took all 10.
Playing such a wide angle from left to right. I mean, the lane's only 60 foot long, but I'm sure his ball's travelling certainly a lot more than that. From one side of the lane to the outside boards and then brings it back into the pocket.
Is it an advantage to go first? You set the standard, the other guy's got to match it.
100% right, Nick, yes. Hit a strike and then your opponent has to strike to stay with you.
And he does.
Captain Sensible in the crowd there. It's a good-looking shot by Dominic. It's light in the pocket, and the 5-pin is the last one to go, which is very unusual, as any 10-pin bowler will tell you. But he's carried all 10, so we're all square after 2.
Barrett staying in his little world. Simonson, of course, won't change anything. The man that has been winning for fun all around the world.
He's actually been playing for money. They're not playing for fun.
Well, is he going to get a messenger? No, he's not. The 10 stands.
Well, that's the first glitch, shall we say. Yeah, it's a flat 10. The 6-pin's just laid in the gutter. Didn't want to know about anything. He's almost willing that pin to go over, but it's not going to budge. There's the spare.
So the door opens up slightly for Dom Barrett here.
Yeah, well, he's got a chance here now to throw another strike and take the lead.
Yes, he can force with another strike. He can force Simonson to chase. This is a very, very tense game, and as rowdy and noisy as these fans have been, they are being very respectful while the bowlers are bowling. No, that wasn't a good shot, but look, he's got all 10. Yeah, he'll acknowledge that one.
He'll acknowledge that one as probably the worst shot he's played in the whole tournament. As soon as the ball left his hand, it was left on the lane. It's crossed the head pin to the Brooklyn side, and he's tripped out to the 6 and the 10 to give him another strike. That's just crazy.
You take what you can get, because you'll get plenty of bad breaks in this business. Take them when they go your way. That one went Barrett's way, but the pins have a long memory. Now, can he get back in the strike zone? Yes, he can.
Third strike out of 4 frames for Simonson. Keeping the pressure back on Barrett to keep striking himself.
Well, Barrett opened up the last match with 8 strikes in a row before Cass Edwards started talking about a 300 game, and that put an end to that. Here he is starting fast again, looking for the 4-bagger. And absolutely nobody is thinking 300s here. It's just about getting the points. Now he this time leaves a 10 on a pretty good pocket hit.
You would almost wonder how that pin can stand up. This one's hit with such power, and that 6-pin was in the gutter, was bouncing out, and then got trapped again, consequently leaving the 10-pin in the corner.
And that is what drives you crazy about this game. You get a strike on a Brooklyn hit, you get a perfect pocket hit, and you leave a corner pin. Nothing between them now.
Welcome back to the Weber Cup, where in the final match of the day, it's currently all square after 4 frames between Europe's Dom Barrett and the American Anthony Simonson. With the Europeans trailing by 8, Simonson knows the importance of keeping up America's momentum.
Boy, these two are bowling at an exceptionally high standard.
He's looking very relaxed, this Simonson, isn't he? Throwing that really wide line. It's a great reaction in the pin deck there. Carries all 10 for his 4th strike of the game.
And once again, Barrett is forced to chase and react. Has to match that now. Everything Simonson delivers, Barrett has to match. And if the door opens, Barrett has got to jump in. Right now he has to match that strike, and he does. The pile of chips in the middle of the table just got a little bit higher.
It's a great game of bowling.
This might be the best match we've seen so far in terms of pure competitive edge and quality bowling as well.
Yeah, Dom looks as though he's moved his feet a little bit further left on the approach as well. So it may well be in Simonson's line. But they both seem to be carrying at ease.
Just look how wide he is there. Once again, that ball being required to do an awful lot of work. Turkey for Simonson.
Yeah, some great encouragement from the rest of the Team USA boys as well. Just another strike.
Oh, you can't take your eyes off this match. This is a terrific finale to what has been a very entertaining day of Tenpin. A little bit of a issue with the machinery at the other end. Quickly sorted. The jammed ball has been released, so Barrett can now continue. I wonder if that little delay there might affect him. No, it does not. How did we ever doubt it? 6 frames in, nothing between them. Strikes all the way, apart from a 9 spare apiece.
It's good to see, I must admit. Some great bowling from both players.
Well, already you can say it's a match that doesn't deserve to produce a loser. This is very, very high class. This is world-class bowling.
Yeah, I did say at the start, it's going to be, on paper, it's going to be the match of the day, and it's certainly living up to that.
Simonson trying to keep things going here. It does. Great rotation, making that ball work so hard and getting the pin action off the back end. Kyle Troop loves it.
Well, if there's any people that haven't seen professional bowling before at its highest level, this is it. This is how good these guys are on the perfect lane condition for them. They'll just strike and strike and strike.
I think Barrett's already completely justified the decision to pick himself for the spot. Simonson was never really in any kind of doubt. Now, Simonson has that advantage of going first. When he strikes, the pressure then goes on to Barrett's shoulders. He has to match. He does again. 7 frames in, you cannot separate them.
7 frames in and 6 strikes apiece. And 1 spare apiece.
Well, this is as good as it gets.
It's a bit of a mental barrage between the 2 players as well.
They are pushing each other so hard. Now, can it continue? As you said earlier, it's who blinks. Here we are in frame 8. Now then, that might be the moment. And you have to feel a bit of sympathy for Simonson there, because that wasn't exactly a bad pocket hit.
No, it wasn't a blink, was it? It was a good-looking shot. It's a ring Tenpin, and the six has just bounced all the way around it. It should take that Tenpin out, in theory.
Well, that was never in doubt, but he doesn't get the break. And his teammates just telling him, yeah, OK, stay with it, stay in the zone. But Barrett now knows that the door has just opened slightly. A strike here gives him the lead going into frame 9. So this is the ball of the match so far.
Dom's just getting his breathing right. As you can see, a big puff of the cheeks there.
Yeah, he slowed it right down, hasn't he?
Well, this could be the match winner.
Exactly.
If he makes it.
Massive shot this. Does he take all 10? No. It wobbled, but it stood up. It's not going to go, is it? It's not going to go. We are back to all square, assuming he takes this single pin. They can't believe it. Nobody can believe it.
A wobbling 9-pin from a ball that's cut straight through the 135 pocket and missed the deflection onto the 9-pin. And it's wobbling as well. Look at that. That's just crazy. Hit from behind.
Look how far it's moved off its spot.
Knocked off its spot as well. Not a strike.
Well, this is no time to leave a single pin standing. Take this. We are level going into frame 9. I tell you, the other players are feeling this as much as the rest of us.
Yeah, Jesper's just chewing his fingers down to the knuckles there.
You know, Jesper's probably thinking, I'm glad I'm not playing this one.
Absolutely, yeah. Not a game for the nervous. But Dom never looks nervous. He's cool as a cucumber.
It's one of his great strengths. Yeah.
He's probably a bit wound up.
Simonson's too young to know he's supposed to be nervous. And there was nothing nervy about that shot. Pressure back on Barrett's shoulders again.
That was a big ball, 9th frame to the foundation. And if Dom doesn't strike here, then it may well all be over. At the moment, they're pacing 278 apiece. A fantastic looking shot from Simonson in the 9th frame.
Well, this is some way to wrap up what's been an absorbing day's play. Talk about saving the best for last. It's got to be all 10 for Dom Barrett. Would you believe it? There's a 7 still standing in the corner. That might be the moment that this one slips away from Team Europe.
Well, he rung a 10-pin and he's now blasted a 7-pin solid off 2 reasonably pocket hits. Look at that. Everything's jumping around that 7-pin, but not touching it.
But remember, he got that rather fortunate one. He got a strike when he didn't deserve it. Off a poor hit. I told you the pins, remember.
He's missed.
No, he hasn't.
The way he turned his back, then I got the impression that he thought that's in the channel.
I think he turned away because he knew there's nothing he can do now. If Anthony Simonson strikes, it's game over.
He didn't like that one. I can't quite lip read, but Guy Kaminsky might be able to help me out there.
Look at that. A potential for a 267 and being on the wrong end of it. It's all down to Anthony Simonson then. 10 here. Point for the USA. They will finish this 3rd session on another high. This for the match. It's missed. It didn't take that 10. That messenger flew over there, but it left the 10 standing.
The crazy thing is, Nick, we could now have a tie.
Well, Barrett's already been in a roll-off as well.
If Dom can strike for 267, this 9 spare will give Anthony 267 as well.
How bizarre this is. Barrett ended up in a roll-off against Tommy Jones, having bowled 267. Would you believe it? There's a chance that Dom is going to face another 267 tie. What he's got to do here is get a strike.
It's quite simple. There's nothing else he needs to do except strike. And if he doesn't, it's all over.
There's not a sound in this arena. Not a sound.
There will be. Possibly. Needs to be good.
And it is. We go to a roll-off for the second time today.
This commentator is becoming difficult. 267 apiece, and we go to a 2-frame roll-up. Great pressure shot from Dom Barrett, the European captain.
What are the odds of Dom Barrett being involved in 267 tied games? That's statistically almost impossible.
Welcome back to Arena MK in Milton Keynes for the 19th edition of the Weber Cup. After tying their captain's pick match at 267 apiece, Europe's Dom Barrett and Team USA's Anthony Simonson will now take part in a 2-frame roll-off. Nick Halling picks up the story.
Ooh, oh my goodness.
That's an open frame.
From? Where did that come from?
That could be the game loser. That's an 8-10 split, which I'm sure he didn't deserve. It wasn't that bad. Light, yes. Didn't break anything. Well, it was a 2-8-10 and the 2 pins gone. I would hazard a guess that that is open frame and end of the game.
Well, his face tells the same story. He knows. Well, all he's got to do to win is spare. Dom Barrett. The deck is loaded for him here.
Well, even if Simonson strikes on the 10th frame, he can only make 39. Dom can get 30 on his first ball, and
yeah, he does need a strike still, doesn't he? Yes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yes. So hold those celebrations just for a moment.
Yeah, 2 9 spares here for Dom is 38.
38.
Simonson can strike for 39.
But it's out of his control. A strike here effectively wins the match. Oh, he's gone the wrong side, and that's a low pin count as well. And we've seen that 9 pin on the back line there missed.
Pressure, or we're not quite sure. Certainly not a good shot. Straight through the face of the 1 pin. Leaves the 369 and the 10.
It got what it deserved. There's no question about that.
Problem here is the 9 pin on the back row of the pin deck. He's got the 3 pin in front of it, and he's got to cover that back pin.
They just can't be separated, can they? Just incredible.
Like Siamese twins.
Does he take all 4? Yes, he does. That's big. That's big. It pretty much forces Simonson to strike.
Yes, it really does. That was a great spare under pressure.
Well, if Simonson strikes, Barrett will have to strike. So it's still in Dom Barrett's hands. But a strike here loads the pressure up on the European skipper. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Not over yet. Grudging applause for Anthony Simonson there from a crowd that is ready just to let rip.
Pressure right back on Barrett again with 1 ball to go. Has to be a strike.
Strike, he wins. Anything else? Simonson wins.
Yep, it's as simple as that. 9 spare here would give him 35. Simonson's already in the bar with 39. Actually talking to himself, trying to get through this one. And there's the big, deep breath.
And again, complete silence and stillness in this auditorium. People hardly even daring to breathe. This for the match. Got it. Brilliant. He has won 2 roll-offs that could yet prove vital as America look to try and close out this Weber Cup, but the Europeans unwilling to release their grip on the trophy. The captain, with back-to-back victories, has kept their hopes alive. They're still a long way back, but they haven't gone away yet, and Dom Barrett really has led from the front with a big, big win to wrap up the evening's play.
A captain's performance from Dom Barrett sees Europe claim the final match of the day and deny the US a 3rd consecutive 5-2 session win. After losing the opening 3 games of the evening, a dominant 86-pin victory by Jesper Svensson was added to by Europe's Captain Fantastic, who's now talking to Hannah Wilkes.
Dom, that kind of match is why people love the Weber Cup. That was a great performance.
Yeah, yes. Doesn't matter who stepped on that stage from our team, we needed that. So glad to be the one to do it and try to, you know, not just let this get away from us, I suppose. We're going to have a good night's sleep tonight, turn up fresh tomorrow, use what we've just done there as a team and move forward.
We saw you talking to yourself throughout that match, especially through the roll-off. What was going through your head? Were you really feeling the atmosphere and the pressure?
Yeah, you know, and you said before, you really want to strike, so hopefully it's after 9 o'clock and what I said didn't get caught up in the microphone too much, but
You were fine.
but no, it was yeah, a lot of frustration at some points, and then, you know, at the end, that sort of elation of, no, we're still in this, they're not there yet, and this is when typically we start playing our best, and I think I've certainly played my best tonight, and I know Jesper played great, and I know the other guys are going to follow tomorrow.
You certainly have played brilliantly. Well done, Dom.
Okay, thank you.
The 4th session and final day of the tournament now beckons. With a combination of singles and doubles matches ahead, both teams know the significance of every point. America needing just 5 for victory and the chance to lift the trophy they last won back in 2012. And Europe knowing that if they are to stage a comeback, they need to dominate from start to finish. Can they? We'll find out next time when the Weber Cup returns.